Hi everyone, I'm Emily Adams with Canine Bootcamp. Today we're going to be explaining how to use a electronic collar to explain our recall. I have my dog Kira here. She's going to help demo this for us in this lesson. And we are using a mini educator, which is what we use for our clients at Canine Bootcamp. So we're going to be working with the continuous mode only, and that's going to be this top black button here on your remote. So when we train a recall and when we're starting to introduce the e-collar to the dog, after the dog's working level has been found, we are going to start on what we call escape. So in escape mode, the e-collar or the stem happens first, and then in order to turn it off, we're going to tell the dog what to do, which for this lesson is going to be a recall. So I'm going to press my button, and then when my dog is going to feel the stem, I'm going to tell her to come, and once she's on her way to coming to me, the stem is going to go away. I have the mini educator hooked up to my sound box, so you're going to be hearing a beep when I'm pressing this button, and then the beep is going to shut off when I'm done pressing the button. So you guys have an idea of when the e-collar is actually being used. So I'm working on a 4. Her level's pretty low, and Kira has been conditioned to an e-collar. So with every dog, we always find their working level first, and we work with the lowest level that we can possibly find. So I'm going to let Kira kind of roam around and do her thing. When I press the e-collar, you're going to hear the sound box go off, and then I'm going to tell Kira to come, and then that's when we're going to shut the pressure off. Kira, let's get up. Good job. So I'm going to let her kind of walk around. She can kind of do her thing. So I'm going to press first. Come. Good girl. Good job. You can still always reward your dog. Okay. Come. I'm just moving back a little bit. She probably doesn't really need me to move back. Kira's been through this a while. If you're working with a green dog, you're probably going to want to use body motion to help the dog out. So I'm just moving back a little bit to encourage the dog to come towards me. And then when I want her to stop, I'm just moving my body inwards a little bit and up straight so that she's encouraged to sit. So, okay. So that's going to be your escape, where you're just pressing first. Come. And then it goes off when she's given the command and she's on her way. So when we do this, we don't stop pressing when the dog is already here. We stop pressing when the dog has committed to the command. So if I say come and she's already complying by turning around and coming towards me, that's when my pressure would go off. If she was coming towards me and I turn the pressure off, but then she gets distracted, my pressure would then again be pressed until she's on her way back to me. And then after our escape conditioning, which you do that couple reps, and then you're going to move on to what we call avoidance. So in this case, my command is going to come first, and then a second or a half of a second afterwards, the button is going to be pressed. So I'm going to say come, and when you hear me say is when my button is going to be pressed. So the dog actually has an opportunity to avoid the stem, which is why we call this avoidance, if the dog complies faster. So if I say come and my dog is already doing it, the button eventually doesn't even get pressed. And that's how we move on to your correction stage. Okay. So I'm going to let her move around just as we did before. I'm going to give her a little bit of rope. Come. And she's already kind of been used to this, so she's coming pretty fast, so I barely even have to use that button. Okay. Go on. Come. Good girl. So as you can see, I'm pretty much hitting that button pretty fast after I'm saying her recall word. Now, sometimes you might not have a dog that's as solid, so you would be saying come, and you might be pressing this a little bit longer before the dog is actually on their way to come. So usually when we do this with clients, if you're doing some private lessons with us, dogs in board and train programs, this is how we're starting the dog off with a recall. Now, we're not training the recall on the remote first. They have a good understanding of what the recall is with reward-based training first. I'm going to just call the dog. I'm going to reward her every single time. And once the dog has a good understanding of what come means, then the e-collar is paired on top of that command. Before we were doing the recall with our mini educator with Kira, who wasn't so green on e-collar training. Louis here is a green dog, so we're going to be working on, he's not totally green, but he's a little bit more new to this. So we're going to be working on how this would work to a dog that's a little bit more new with it on his recall. So I'm going to give him about 10 feet of distance. He has worked with some short line recall before, so he does have somewhat of an understanding of what coming when called means. We're taking this outdoors now. We're giving him a little bit more distance, and we're layering in the e-collar. This is about his first week of doing some remote training. So Louis, get up. Go ahead. And I still have my educator paired to my sound box so you guys are able to hear when I'm pressing it. Louis, come. Good boy. Good job. And I'm just backing up a little bit to help him out. I want him to kind of come to me excited, so I'm going to add a little bit of motion there to help him out. Break. Louis, come. Good boy, good boy. Good job. Yes, good job. And Louis working on avoidance. He's already been through the escape. So we're doing come, and then we're hitting the button right after still. Break. Louis, come. Good boy. Good job. Here you go. Yes. And usually we don't break. We don't let them just get up whenever they want. We want to release them, and then he's free to get up. So you're going to let him have a little rope. Louis, come. Good boy. Sit. Sit. Yes.